Cop pinned me on the street over a goofy cap, then dragged me into his cruiser where his partner hissed threats about my grandkids with a psycho grin. Family was firing up the grill back home. Clueless, this routine stop was about to shred our world to pieces. But one ace up my sleeve turned his face ghost white. What went down next? Buckle up. Jamal Harris, 58 years old, was strolling down the cracked sidewalk in downtown Atlanta like he owned the whole block. His brand new Make Iran Great Again cap tilted jauntily on his graying head as a bold, in-your-face statement to the world. He'd scooped up that wild, eye-catching hat at a bustling flea market just the day before for $1, purely to mess with his TikTok crowd. The guy was a total pro at firing off sharp, edgy political memes that had his followers in stitches, racking up thousands of likes from the younger gen who absolutely ate up his boomer Breaking Bad energy and rogue humor. Jamal lived for those viral moments, posting daily from his phone while juggling his day job and family life, turning everyday chaos into gold for the algorithm. But on this blazing hot March afternoon in 2026, with the sun blasting down like a furnace and turning the already rough pavement into a scorching trap that made shoes stick slightly with every step, that cap shifted from harmless fun prop to a straight-up serious troublemaker, drawing stares from every direction, some amused, others suspicious. Jamal, a battle-hardened Iraq war vet with jagged shrapnel scars twisting up his dark arms like twisted vines, and a thick beard that straight up said, "I've been through the fire and back," had just pushed through the creaky door of a rundown coffee shop called Brew Haven on the corner of Peachtree and Fifth. Inside, the air was thick with the smell of burnt beans and chatter. He'd been trading good-natured barbs with the barista, a lanky 20-something named Tyler, about Trump's epic meme game and how it smoked Biden's chill grandpa vibes any day of the week. "Man, Trump's out here dropping bangers while Sleepy Joe's napping on stage. Wake-up call, kid." Jamal had laughed, slapping a 5 on the counter for his black coffee, feeling on top of the world as Tyler grinned and handed over the steaming cup. Little did he know that light-hearted exit was about to flip into nightmare mode. Out of nowhere, like a storm cloud bursting open without warning, a patrol car roared up from a side street, tires squealing on the hot asphalt as it cut off traffic, like a predator zeroing in on prey. Officer Bradley, Brad Thompson, 42, the classic tough guy cop with a gut from too many late-night snacks and eyes narrowed into slits, like he was permanently sizing up trouble, was behind the wheel. Brad had a rep around the precinct for being old school, the kind of guy who lived for the power trip, radio always tuned to talk shows ranting about real America. He hit the brakes hard, tires smoking slightly, sirens screaming wild and piercing through the street noise like a banshee unleashed, lights flashing red and blue in a dizzying frenzy that made pedestrians scatter. Brad jumped out in one fluid, aggressive motion, hand hovering right near his holster, badge glinting under the sun as he scanned Jamal like a target. "Hey, you in the weird foreign cap, stop right there or things get real serious real quick," Brad barked, his voice booming off the buildings, jaw clenched so tight you could see the veins popping in his neck, face flushed hot from the heat or the rage building inside. A couple of construction workers across the street paused their jackhammers, staring slack-jawed, while a group of high school kids on lunch break froze mid-sidewalk selfie. Jamal stopped cold in his tracks, pulse racing fast like a drum solo in his chest. This wasn't some viral skit he could edit for laughs. This was the raw, unfiltered street reality, where one slip-up, one wrong word, could turn everything upside down in a heartbeat, leaving him on the evening news, or worse. Brad charged ahead without hesitation, pinning Jamal hard against the coffee shop's gritty brick wall, with a thud that echoed down the block, the rough surface scraping into his back like jagged teeth ready to bite deeper. "What's the deal with this shady headgear? You look like you're up to no good out here," Brad growled low and menacing, snatching the cap right off Jamal's head in one swift yank and stomping it flat under his heavy boot, twisting his heel back and forth like he meant absolute business, grinding the fabric into the dirt as if erasing it from existence. Onlookers pulled out their phones fast, screens lighting up like fireflies in the daylight, but Brad waved them back sharp with his free hand. "Stay clear, folks, or you're in the mix too. This is official business." Tyler the barista peeked out the door, eyes wide, whispering to a customer, "Yo, that's messed up. Jamal's cool, people." Jamal's thoughts spun wild and chaotic. Flashes of dusty Iraq patrols hit him like lightning. The old familiar sting of being eyed wrong stateside right after his tours. That deep-down chill every guy in his position feels like a constant shadow. One overzealous officer, one rough moment on a bad day, and it's lights out for good. His coffee cup tumbled to the ground, splashing dark liquid across the sidewalk like spilled blood in slow motion. "Officer, chill out. It's just a goofy hat, bro. Nothing serious. I served this country honorably for over a decade. Check my tags if you gotta see proof," Jamal said, keeping his voice calm and measured like he'd trained himself to do 1,000 times, even as his gut twisted tight like a nightmare scene where the danger's already way too close for comfort, lurking in broad daylight. Brad didn't buy a single word of it, his face twisting into a sneer. He wrenched Jamal's arms back behind his back with brutal force, snapping cold metal cuffs onto wrists already marked from old blast wounds that ached under the pressure like fresh reminders of war. The click of the cuffs echoed louder than the distant traffic, biting into skin scarred from IED chaos overseas. "Goofy? You don't look right to me out here, pal. Keep still and don't make this harder," Brad snapped, his grip like iron. A crowd swelled up quick around them, office workers on break, a mom with a stroller, street vendors packing up early, murmurs buzzing like angry bees. "That's straight up unfair," a teen girl whispered fiercely into her live feed on TikTok, capturing every second of the chaos in shaky vertical video, her caption already reading, "Downtown drama, #unfairstop." Jamal's phone vibrated insistently in his pocket. His daughter Keisha, 25 and full of fire, messaging about their family cookout plans later that evening with ribs smoking and music blasting, but his hands were locked down tight, useless. Brad pushed him roughly toward the patrol car, pressing a knee firm into the small of his back for compliance, muttering low and harsh right in his ear, words dripping with edge. "I've handled tougher cases than you. Don't test me today." The tension hung thick in the air like storm clouds ready to burst, Jamal tasting a hint of blood from a cut lip where his tooth had caught it during the slam. His mind firing off dark humor to cope. Swapped warzone blasts for stateside power trips. Talk about a plot twist nobody saw coming. The coffee shop door jingled as Tyler stepped halfway out, phone in hand too. "Hey, officer, he's a regular. Good dude." Right then, backup sirens howled nearer from 2 blocks away. Brad's team pulling up fast, more flashing lights exploding across the scene like a chaotic rave gone wrong, dogs barking fierce and frantic on short leashes like they sensed pure panic thick in the air, straining forward with teeth bared and foam flecking their jaws. Word of this madness was spreading silent but swift. Jamal's phone, tucked securely away in his pocket, was auto-capturing the whole ugly mess, every sharp word, every rough push, streaming straight to his 50,000 TikTok followers in real time, who lit up the comment section with shock emojis, fire reactions, and cries of outrage flooding in by the second. "This is wild. #justice. Now." Deep inside Jamal's chest, years of pushing down frustrations, from denied VA benefits that left him scraping by to overlooked job chances despite his service record, bubbled up fierce into this very public showdown, turning a simple walk into a spectacle. Brad let out a rough, barking laugh that cut through the noise. "Bet you're regretting that hat choice now, huh? Shoulda left it at home." Jamal held his tongue sharp, eyes scanning the growing ring of phone lights glowing brighter as the sun dipped slightly. a deep chill settling in his bones that this powder keg of a situation could ignite any second into something unstoppable. The street pulsed with raw energy now. High school kids yelling words of support from the sidelines despite Brad's glares, elders like Mr. Jenkins, 70, the corner store owner shaking his head slow in total disbelief while muttering to his wife over the phone. "This ain't right at all. Jamal's one of the good ones, served his time overseas." Traffic ground to a complete halt 2 lanes deep, horns blaring in frustration as drivers craned necks for a look. Brad radioed in quick over the growing din. "Got a situation locked down here. Suspect detained. Need backup on scene." His voice coming out cocky and clipped over the static crackle. Jamal breathed steady and deep, drawing on that unbreakable vet grit drilled into him from years in the sand. But the weight pressed heavier by the second. Family waiting back home, unaware of the storm. His whole career and rep hanging in the balance, and that unseen viral storm brewing hotter online. One brave delivery guy on a bike edged closer from across the intersection, phone held high, filming steady. "Yo, world needs to see this." A young mom shielded her little kid's eyes with one hand, while thumb-typing with the other, her stroller parked crooked on the curb. Sparks of resistance flickered everywhere. A street musician packing his guitar paused to join the chant starting low. "Let him go, let him go," building slow into a wave that had Brad glancing around uneasy, sweat beading on his forehead despite his tough front. But he doubled down hard, yanking Jamal forward another step toward the car door. "Move it along. Show's over." The relentless sun beat down merciless on everyone, turning the entire scene into a massive pressure cooker, where every ticking second stretched out like a nerve-shredding countdown. The crowd's energy crackling electric, ready to explode. Old friends from the neighborhood trickled in, too. Jamal's barber buddy waving from half a block away, already dialing contacts, while distant sirens layered on the chaos, painting a picture of downtown Atlanta on the brink. The patrol car door slammed shut with a heavy thud, sealing Jamal inside the back seat like a trap, snapping closed, trapping him in tight quarters with Brad's backup crew. Officer Tammy T-Bone Wilkins, 35, a wiry type with a super-tight ponytail that matched her no-nonsense edge, and rookie Kyle Kid Ramirez, 22, a fresh-faced guy with wide eyes, looking a bit uneasy, but keeping quiet for now. Up front, Brad hopped into the driver's seat quick, peeling out from the curb with tires screeching loud against the pavement, the radio already crackling to life. "Dispatch, got a suspect in custody. Yeah, guy with suspicious gear, heading straight to the precinct now." Jamal twisted against the stiff cuffs digging into his raw wrists, the car's stale mix of sweat, old leather, and faint fast food smells hitting him hard, like a stuffy box on wheels. "Come on, officers, this is way off base. I'm no threat. Name's Jamal Harris. Put in 12 solid years with the Army. Call my commanding officer if you need the proof," he said firm, layering on some sarcasm to cover the cold wave of worry creeping up his back. T-Bone twisted around in the passenger seat, flashing a sharp smirk. "Army service? Sounds sketchy to me. That hat you had on? That's all the reason we need, you figuring we're not paying attention." She reached back roughly, patting down his pockets with quick, invasive hands, yanking out his worn leather wallet and flipping through it fast, landing on wallet-sized pics of his grandkids, those adorable 5-year-old twins with their big, gap-toothed grins lighting up the photo. "Oh, look at these cuties. Shame their grandpas mixed up in shady stuff. Hope they stay on the straight path." Jamal swallowed hard, that low blow landing like a sucker punch, his mind firing back silent. "These scars on my arms? Earned fighting for spots like this, not whatever you're imagining." Kid Ramirez shifted in his seat, up front, mumbling low under his breath. "Sarge, maybe we verify his service record first, just to be sure." Brad shot him a glare sharp as a knife through the rear view. "Zip it, rookie. This isn't some feel-good seminar. This is straight-up police work." They rolled up to a red light in heavy traffic, horns blaring around them. and Brad cranked up the radio dial, blasting some upbeat country track, all about real folks standing tall, the twangy guitar filling the car loud. He twisted halfway around, eyes flashing intense. "All right, Jamal, spill it. What's that hat code for, anyway? Some kind of signal? You casing spots around here?" He threw his hands up, mimicking a big boom for effect, letting out a wild laugh that echoed off the windows, while T-Bone casually pulled her taser from the belt, waving it teasingly just inches from Jamal's face. "Quick test run? Folks say it gives a real wake-up buzz." Jamal's brain screamed classic thriller vibes, stuck in a speeding metal cage with folks who could flip the script any second. He caught a glimpse of his own reflection in the plexiglass divider, cut lip swelling, eyes shadowed like those endless Iraq nights where buddies got caught in crossfire. "You officers are the ones pushing limits here," he shot back steady, using the badge like its unlimited power. Out of the blue, Brad swerved sharp into a narrow alley, claiming it was a shortcut to shave time off the run. But sirens wailed faint behind them in the distance, another unit closing in. Nah, just echoes, or maybe not. Brad's personal phone buzzed on the dash. He snatched a quick peek, flashing a sly grin. "Hang tight back there. This ride's about to get interesting." He punched the gas hard, the car fishtailing wild on the uneven alley pavement, jolting Jamal's head slamming against the protective cage with a crack that lit stars in his vision. Pain exploded sharp, head throbbing like a potential knockout blow, world blurring with ghostly flashbacks of flaming vehicles in desert storms long past. T-Bone let out a quick laugh. "Whoops, guess that's what happens when you shift around." Kid piped up hesitant from the front. "Sarge, this route feels kinda off." But Brad barked over him loud, "Stick to the program or find a new gig, kid." They burst back onto the main drag, weaving through bumper-to-bumper chaos, when the online frenzy hit full throttle. Jamal's TikTok feed exploding unseen, followers flooding precinct socials and tagging top brass with hashtags like #FreeJamal and #UnfairStop lighting up feeds everywhere. Brad's radio suddenly blew up with dispatch chatter. "Urgent. Thompson, hold position. Suspect footage going viral online. Brass wants eyes on it now." Brad gripped the wheel white-knuckled, muttering sharp. Total fake hype. This guy's staying put. He gunned into the precinct lot finally, tires smoking as he yanked Jamal out by the collar rough, marching him past a cluster of off-duty colleagues tossing jeers from the steps. "Fresh catch, Brad." Straight into booking they went, fingerprints slamming down methodical like a ritual, the harsh flash of the mugshot camera blinding Jamal bright white, the holding room spinning slow with building dread. Isolation cell next? Rough handling? His mind quipped dark. Hero status revoked. All thanks to the badge squad. Family calls hammered his silenced phone unheard, his sister dialing frantic. "Jamal, you good? Pick up," while Brad loomed close, breath heavy. "Own up now, or we'll build a case that sticks tight." Tension cranked sky high as voices rose outside the precinct windows. Protesters assembling fast from the viral alerts, chants rolling in strong. "No justice, no peace," echoing off the brick walls like a growing thunder. Inside the stark booking area, Jamal stared into the smudged mirror under buzzing fluorescence, whispering to himself with gritty humor. "Step right up to Chaos Central, soldier. Fingers crossed the system covers cop stress recovery." Brad paced nearby, eyes plotting the next move, the whole building humming like a pot about to boil over, air thick with unrest as more feet pounded the pavement outside, phones capturing every angle from afar. The lot filled quick, local news vans screeching in, reporters spilling out with mics and cameras. Jamal's barber buddy from the block showed up waving a sign he'd scribbled hasty. "Jamal's a vet. Hands off." Even Tyler the barista rolled up on his scooter, phone still rolling live. Brad barked orders to extra units pulling in. "Secure the perimeter, no press inside." But dispatch kept buzzing relentless. "IA en route, Thompson. Stand by for review." Jamal sat cuffed to the bench, pulse steadying as he pieced the chaos. Family texts piling. Keisha. Dad. Video everywhere. Hang tight. The viral wave crashed harder, shares hitting millions, comments pouring. This is America? Precinct phones rang off hooks. Captain's office doors slamming. T-Bone hovered uneasy now, taser holstered, while Kid avoided eye contact, mumbling about protocol. Brad tried stonewalling. Routine stop, nothing more. But cracks showed in his swagger. Protesters swelled to dozens, megaphone blaring facts from Jamal's service record someone dug up online. Inside, the air crackled electric, every shout from outside amplifying the standoff, turning routine booking into a full-blown showdown with justice teetering on the edge. Jamal slumped in the stark interrogation room, the harsh fluorescent lights buzzing overhead like a relentless horror movie score, drilling straight into his aching skull, handcuffs chaining him tight to a rusty metal table scarred deep with frantic scratches, marks left by who knows how many folks in desperate spots before him, like faint echoes of past struggles hanging in the air. The walls felt closer by the minute, gray paint peeling at the edges, a single flickering bulb casting long shadows that danced eerie across the floor. He'd been sitting there for what felt like hours, head still throbbing from the rough ride, wrists chafed raw under the steel links, replaying the street chaos in his mind while the distant hum of the precinct buzzed like a hive ready to swarm. The door banged open hard. Brad stormed in clutching a steaming styrofoam cup of precinct coffee, slamming it down on the table so black liquid sloshed over the rim. "Thirsty back there? Or you want something more your style?" he taunted with a smirk, leaning in too close. Right on his heels came T-Bone, scrolling through Jamal's seized phone with wide eyes, putting on a big show. "Whoa, Sarge, check this out. His videos are blowing up. Over 100,000 views already. Kids online going wild about unfair treatment. And these texts from some chief's office? Total phony setup." Jamal kept his face stone-cold neutral on the outside, but inside a spark ignited. Exhaustion mixing sharp with building fire, his thoughts racing. Y'all just handed the match to your own downfall. Brad pulled up a chair backward, straddling it like he owned the room, leaning in so close Jamal could smell the cheap aftershave mixed with coffee breath, words flying sharp. "Here's the deal, Jamal. Say what I tell you to say. Own up nice and clean, or things get tough for your people. Pulled your address from the system? Know where those little ones go to school? Stuff happens. You know how it goes." The threat landed heavy like a storm cloud bursting, twisting Jamal's gut with pure parental dread. Flashes hitting him of his grandkids' innocent faces, that deep fear every dad carries amplified into full nightmare mode, heart pounding as he pictured worst-case chaos. Kid Ramirez poked his head in hesitant from the hall. "Sarge, Captain's on line 1. Word is that street video's everywhere now." Brad waved him off rough like swatting a fly, grabbing Jamal's collar tight. "You're out of moves, pal. Resisting suspicious intent. Could lock this down long-term easy." His fist slammed the table hard, knuckles popping loud, eyes wild and unhinged, like a guy lost in his own bad script. Jamal felt the weight of years crashing in. Decades of holding steady through profiling stares overseas and endless stops back home. All that bottled-up frustration, now ready to overflow like a dam cracking. "Officers like you always flip the story to fit," he said low and steady, voice carrying like distant thunder rolling closer. The room hung thick with tension, clock ticking loud on the wall, every second stretching as footsteps echoed down the hall. Heavy boots, multiple sets, picking up speed. Suddenly the door flew wide again. Captain Elena Vasquez, 50, a sharp, no-nonsense Latina boss with brass stars gleaming on her uniform shoulders, stormed in flanked by 2 stone-faced internal affairs reps in crisp suits, clipboards in hand, and notepads flipping fast. Outside in the precinct lobby, phones glowed bright through the glass panels, packed wall-to-wall with protesters who'd rolled in hot from the viral alerts, news vans circling the lot like sharks with satellite dishes up high, cameras rolling live. Brad jumped to his feet, puffing his chest. "Captain, this guy's a clear case." Vasquez sliced through sharp. "Not another word, Thompson. That video's gone nationwide. Higher-ups involved over the whole hat mix-up, and it's not looking good." Tension hit fever pitch as Vasquez nodded to one of her team, who stepped forward quick with keys. Cuffs clicked open, freeing Jamal's wrists with a metallic snap. She locked eyes firm. "Mr. Harris, let's hear your side. Straight up." Jamal rose slow and deliberate, rubbing the red marks on his wrists, drawing a deep breath before speaking clear and strong. "Captain, that officer right there roughed up a vet over nothing but a silly hat. But take a look at this." He nodded cool toward his phone, still sitting on the table edge, screen alive with the live feed rolling strong, comments exploding wild. "Set him free now." Brad's face drained color fast, voice cracking. "Free? What free? What's that even mean?" Jamal reached up casual, sliding off his shades to reveal a polished precinct badge pin, tucked discreet under his shirt collar, hidden perfect till the moment called for it. "Name's Chief Jamal Harris, Atlanta PD Eastern Division. Been running an undercover op on internal issues. Issues like yours, Thompson. Caught every word, every move on hidden cam, too." The room flipped into total uproar. Brad staggered back, collapsing into a chair, babbling wild excuses. T-Bone spun toward the door in panic, only to get blocked and grabbed firm by IA hands. Kid Ramirez stood frozen in the doorway, jaw dropped wide. "No way." Cheers erupted loud from outside as the truth hit like a shockwave. Protesters roaring victory chants that shook the windows. News choppers whirring overhead now. Vasquez gave a grim nod. All business. "Stand down immediately, Chief. These two are off the roster. Full investigation starts now." The door burst wider. Jamal's family pushed through the chaos. Daughter Keisha, 25, rushing in first for a fierce hug. "Dad, we caught the whole live stream. It's massive everywhere." Sister Marlene right behind, phone clutched tight. "Told you we had your back. World's watching." The viral wave crashed full force, shares rocketing into the millions across platforms, big names chiming in with supportive posts, even an ironic nod from high up twisting the hat story into fuel for change. Resolution settled bittersweet in the aftermath. Brad got marched off in his own set of cuffs, muttering pleas about how things work around here. T-Bone cracked under questioning, spilling on past shortcuts. Jamal stepped up to testify clear and strong, sparking real shifts. Bodycams locked in mandatory across the board. Fresh training rolled out department-wide to hit biases head-on. But the marks ran deeper than skin. Old service stresses flared sharper now. Family pulling even tighter in nightly huddles sharing stories and strength. Jamal capped it with his signature grit, dropping a fresh video remake of that hat. "Make justice great again," racking up laughs and nods by the millions. A reminder that challenges linger under the surface, but pushing forward keeps the real wins alive. Fade out on steps toward better days, or just the next chapter waiting. The precinct lights dimmed slow as the crowd dispersed into the night, echoes of chants lingering like a promise. Outside, supporters lingered chatting victory laps, Jamal's barber buddy slapping his back. "Knew you had that ace up your sleeve, Chief." Tyler the barista snapping pics for his own post. "Real hero vibes, man." News crews packed gear under floodlights, anchors going live. Breaking, shocking undercover twist rocks, local PD. Keisha filmed a quick family clip right there in the lot. Twins waving from Grandma's arms over video call. "We love you, Pop Pop." Reforms kicked off fast. Memos flying by morning. Town halls booked solid. Brad's old crew scattered quiet. Whispers of lawsuits brewing. Jamal drove home under streetlights, radio humming low. Family waiting with open arms, grill fired up late despite the hour, turning ordeal into unbreakable bonds. One cycle broken, eyes sharp for the road ahead. If I were Jamal, I'd stay ice cool like he did. De-escalate verbally. Record everything discreetly. Phone autocam FTW. and drop facts about my service first thing to humanize the moment. No sudden moves, just smart survival mode. Total power play by that cop. Sickening how badges turn into bully shields sometimes. My uncle had a similar stop back in '98, roughed up for looking suspicious walking home. No video back then, walked away bruised but quiet. Who's dealt with this nonsense? Drop a like if you've seen it. Comment your story below. This story's made for good, to shine a light on real issues and push for a better world. Your opinion matters. Let's talk change.